Hachiman Hikigaya is a pessimistic high school student with narcissistic and semi-nihilistic tendencies. Hachiman's teacher forces him to join the Volunteer Service Club, a service club that aims to extend a helping hand to any student who seeks their support in achieving their goals. Joining him is Yugi Yukinoshito and Yui Yukihana, as they help out students who need support as well as helping out each other. Throughout this first season, you will see the volunteer club helping out other students in mini 3 or 4 episode arcs. If you were to ask me what my favorite part about the show was, it's the characters. Mainly our trio of main characters, as I found them to be relatable and interesting. Hachiman's pessimistic attitude comes off as asshole-ish, but that's the point of his character. He isn't trying to be a likable guy from the start, and I feel like if you were a little bit pessimistic yourself, you would probably understand and relate to Hachiman. Yukino goes through a good amount of character development in this first season, and I really appreciated it. Yui was actually my favorite character in the show. I actually really liked her in this anime, not only because she was the Moe Blob character to only exist as the comic relief character, but Yui actually goes through plenty of development throughout this show, and I didn't find her annoying. The rest of the characters sadly aren't really that interesting in my opinion. I really only cared about our main cast as I felt they had really good chemistry and I really liked their company in this anime. It's not to say that the side cast was all terrible, there was a few highlights in there, but in my opinion I only cared about the 3 main characters and that was about it. This show was animated by Brainsbase, and I gotta say this show is generic looking. The animation was fine, but I wasn't a fan of most of the character designs, and they came across as basic and generic. It's not an ugly show by any means, but I've seen way worse, and I've seen way better. Music-wise, I found this show to be generic as well, and overall, I wasn't a fan of the music. I watched this show in its original Japanese, and I wouldn't change that for the world. In my opinion, this show has one of the best Japanese voice acting I've heard, and while the dub is fine, I have to say if you plan on watching this show, definitely watch it in the Japanese because Hachiman's rants just come across as natural, and I gotta give props to Takuya Iguchi, sorry for my pronunciation, for his performance as Hachiman. Overall, I did like this first season. My only real problems was the middle of the show felt very flat. However, this show had a good beginning and a really good ending. While this show did great with the side cast, I feel like most of the focus should have been on the main characters. The main characters did get good development for this first season at least, but I don't think it was enough in my opinion. My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU Season 1 is a good show, and I do understand why some people just can't get into this because of Hachiman's negative attitude or the fact that this show is barely a romance. It has some moments of romance, but it didn't go the full mile, and that was to the show's benefit, I feel. It would have felt forced if they had a romance where it didn't belong. However, that being said, I'd say this is a good show, and I do think you should give this a stream. Please let me know down in the comments section below on what you thought of My Teen Romantic Comedy SNAFU Season 2 because I am interested. Thank you for watching the video. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification so you know when my next video is up. Also, comment down below on what you thought of this anime. Big thanks to Nia-chan, Warpbait, and Stuffly Play for supporting me on Patreon. You guys rock.